another edition of the Sports Spotlight program. I'm your host, Tom Morin. As you can see, we're at the Grafton Village swimming pool, and we're going to be watching a swim practice under the direction of head coach Nancy Pyle. We'll be back after this short break. Nancy Pyle, head coach of the Grafton Dolphins swim team. Nancy, can we break away or get you away from here just to tell us what you're doing this morning? First of all, I understand you had a meet last night.
Yes, we did.
How'd it go?
It went real well. We met with Ferry Farm and we won the meet.
Very good. I'd always like to report on the winning team. I hate to interview people who lost the night before. What's your record now?
We're 3-2.
3-2? Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the team? I've already said the name of the team is the Grafton Dolphins, but maybe you can tell us about ages and the size of the club.
We have 77 members, and they range anywhere from 4 through 18. And we're a larger team than we were last year. We had 62 last year, so we've grown like most of the teams in the RSL League.
Okay, and what do they do on the day after a practice? Is this a cool down day, or is it a hard day for them?
No, we usually get right back into things. The day of the meet, we have...
Okay, Nancy, I noticed a big clock over there, and I'm sure that's not for the kids to find out what time to get out of here. Why don't you tell us about that thing?
Okay, that's a pace clock, and that's been loaned to us by the Stingrays that use it in the morning. And I refer to it as my assistant coach, because it kind of oversees my older kids, 13 and over. They go on the pace clock. They do a lot more yardage than the younger kids do. And they're able to time themselves and give themselves like 15-second intervals in between their sets of hundreds or their sets of 50s.
Okay, well, how do they actually use it? What numbers do they look for when they start?
When they get back to the wall, they use it generally just to give themselves another 15 seconds before they start their next set.
Okay, so it just time spreads out between swimmers and gives them a break. It's not to establish their rate while they're swimming.
You can use it for that, but we don't.
Okay.
All abilities in there.
Okay. Is there anything that you want us to know about the team? Any particular person or any particular event or meet that you want to brag on?
Well, they've all come such a long way. Their times are dropping because they've been coming out to practice, and I don't like to highlight any particular person. I think as a team they've all done a really fine job, and I would just like you to interview anyone in particular.
Okay, we'll get to some kids in a minute. Now, you were talking before about the year-round program, and you were particularly proud of that. Why don't you tell the viewers about that?
That's the Stingray swim team, and of course we're always looking for swimmers to come out for it. The summer league is kind of a breeding ground for good swimmers, and if they find that they really enjoy the sport, they can continue with it through the winter. And they can get in touch with me at my phone number, 373-7405, if they're interested in continuing swimming all year long. It's a very nice program, and I think it builds character and keeps them in good physical shape through the year, and if they're only interested in being a good summer swimmer, it makes them stronger for next year. But I think that if they got on it, they would find that it's a lot of fun, and they'd really enjoy it.
And you don't work them too hard?
I'm not the coach for that team. They work hard, but they...
You work bees hard, but not the rays. And you have a team coordinator, Ricky Ricks. Is she here today? We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back to close the show from the Grafton Village Pool. We're back at the Grafton Village Pool with head coach of the Grafton Dolphins, Nancy Pyle. We're going to have a few kids swim by here, and Nancy's going to tell us about what particular stroke that they're using, and then we're going to see some turns. Okay, Nancy, why don't you bring the first one down and tell us what's going on?
I'm going to blow my whistle. Okay, this is Jamie Pyle, and she's doing the freestyle. And she will do a flip turn when she gets to the end here.
Tell us about the freestyle stroke, what is involved in that. That's what most people call just the regular Australian crawl.
Yeah, the Australian crawl. There goes a flip turn. Jamie's one of our year-round swimmers. She's a very strong freestyler.
Looks like she's having a good time, too.
She enjoys her swimming.
Okay, what's the next stroke that we're going to see?
All right, we're going to show breaststroke now. This is Lizzie Howard. She's one of our summer swimmers. She's not a year-round swimmer, but she has a very fine breaststroke.
Yeah, the breaststroke's kind of complicated, and I never have understood that fully.
It's not like the other strokes. It's a much slower stroke. You're using the breaststroke kick. A lot of people refer to it as the frog kick, but it's a different stroke entirely. So I'll start her on her way. Oh, she's coming. Lizzie has won almost all of her events this year in the 10 and under breaststroke. And she is only 9, so I think, yeah. I think she turns 10 this summer, but she'll swim as a 10 under again next year. And the thing we look for on a turn is that you have a 2-hand touch. And I'm sure she will. She's very careful about it. Yeah, she touched underwater with her 2 hands.
Okay, and
a nice pull out.
This is a different kick too than the other stroke.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's a breaststroke kick. A lot of people refer to it as the frog kick.
Okay.
Or a whip kick.
And what was that young lady's name again?
That was Lizzie Howard.
Lizzie Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been a beautiful day here at the Grafton Village Swim Club. This is, as Nancy will remember, this is the 3rd time we've tried to tape it. We've been rained out twice, but today's weather was certainly worth waiting for. Again, another thanks to Nancy Pyle, head coach of the Grafton Dolphins, and her team coordinator, Ricky Ricks. We wanted to take this opportunity to show you the Grafton Village Dolphins. We couldn't show them individually on camera, but I think this will be the next best thing. They seem to be having a good time, and we've enjoyed ourselves here. This is your host, Tom Moore, and Above the Noise, saying that we'll see you next week on another Sports Spotlight show.
I'm ready.